Body and Mind's Power Up.
Speaking of that, I just realized what a two-pop was.
Two-pop?
Yeah, I just realized what a two-pop was.
I don't even know what a two-pop is.
You know when the film is counting down? It goes 5, 4, 3, 2, boop.
Oh, a two-pop. So the countdown. So it's like the slate. I know it as a slate.
Right. The name is called a two-pop. Right.
All this time I've been calling it the slate.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, what's that? That's that Q noise. the Q noise at 2. So it's a two-pop. Oh, it makes so much sense. All right. That time I just.
That's what's up. Back to Power Up in full effect with your boy Varsky.
And even better, we got your boy.
And you know this.
All relations.
What up, world? What up, people?
Hey, man, how was your week?
This week was interesting. We're in spring now. First week of March, is it? Yeah, we're in spring right now. Weather's getting better. People are feeling better. The time moved ahead.
You guys have that too?
Yeah. Spring forward, fall back. But you know, it's so funny how you say you guys have that too. I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah,
and I'm Pacific Northwest. So this is the last time ever where I'm at that we're ever gonna change the time. We're just gonna call it. Yeah, it's just gonna be Pacific time, and it's never gonna change. We're never gonna go forward. We're never gonna go back. And then the governor or the premier of my province, my state, they're trying to get all the West Coast states, so like California, Oregon, Washington, to get in line with that, and then we'll have a Pacific time. So this is like Cascadia, like it's like a mountainous area.
It was something we were supposed to go back to a long time ago. I think even Trump it's like we're not gonna move. I'm like, if we're not gonna move, can we keep it to where the daylight is a little bit longer?
Yeah,
I can't even lie to you. There's times where I walk out of certain places and I'm just like, you walk in there and it's daylight, and then you walk out, it's nighttime.
100%. Or you leave at night, you come home at night.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, like let's get it to where we can actually walk out and still see some sunlight.
So we'll see what's happening. So this is the last time we're changing our time out here in the Pacific Northwest.
That's dope. That might bring some people in there too.
Yeah, and you know, today have, I was about to say jet lag, but I guess it's time lapse lag.
Yep. Man.
So today I was a bit slower, but still back at it.
That happened to me today, man. I literally woke up and I'm looking. I'm like, yo, it's 8:47 already. What the? Then I went to the kitchen because the kitchen didn't reset.
Exactly. The phone resets, but not the kitchen.
So you turn around. If everything resets at the same time without you knowing it, you won't even realize it. You just walked out there. I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on? Or you just feel tired.
You'd be like, why do I feel like this?
Yeah. All right. But the phone, because the kitchen didn't reset, I feel like, okay, you know, I understand everything that's going on now. So we're in a good place. We're in a good place. So, you know, it's funny. We were talking about it today. Right. I was looking at something. Right. And it asked me, are you actually in reality? Are you living it? Or are you just reacting to it? I think that comes along. Now, I started thinking about that because when it comes down to certain things, right? Now, you and I, we've done this a long time. We studied laws of attraction, laws of manifestation, everything else like that. And they always telling you, okay, you know what? If you got to do it, you got to see it, you got to believe it.
Feel it.
Which part of exactly, right? But if you are dealing with stress, you are feeling the stress, you are embracing the stress, at what point in time do you feel like, you know, you have the ability to manifest? Like it's almost like it's a trap, I feel like.
Well, in my experience, because I'm always doing my best to make that happen. See it,
Right.
feel it, be it, do it, think it,
Right.
speak it.
Right.
Then it happens randomly when I least expect it.
Right.
So, and we're human, so our mood goes up, down,
Of course,
mundane, happy, sad, neutral. So what I've learned is I'll have a bad thought. I'll think something negative, but then I'll quickly try to get it out and go back to positive. Like reciting positive affirmations, like
Right.
just simple stuff just to get me in a good mood. But overall, I'm just always trying to stay in a positive state, which is pretty challenging with all the stuff that's always happening on a day-to-day basis
man.
in society, in the world, in your personal life. It's challenging to stay continuously positive. Nobody could do it.
No.
So whenever I feel crappy, I just let the crap go through me.
Right.
And then I get it back on you know what I'm saying? And I get back on that positive swing. And then I get back on that positive thing. But I guess over time you learn if it's a small thing, it's easier to manifest quicker. And it's the bigger the thing, it takes a bit longer.
But you know what's funny you say that? Because I was thinking to myself, as you were saying that, at what point in time did we realize, okay, you know what? I got to stop thinking this way, because the biggest the biggest misperceived thought, you can actually control your thoughts, right? And I remember seeing this now, and I think it was The Power of Now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was talking about, you know, your brain actually controls you. You don't control your brain, right?
Yes, the brain sends the message, and then the
Yes.
body moves.
Right. And when you start feeling the ego start to take place, now the whole thing about it is the ego will be like, you know what? We are good. We like to be stressed out. We're going to be stressed out. We're going to stay stressed out. Don't you remember that time we were stressed out? Remember what this person did to you? All right. Remember that? That was a great time. Remember? And it'll hold on to that because that's what it wants you to be, because it's safe there. You know, that's your safe space.
A lot of people practice this, but when that negative thing comes back, when you think about a disagreement you had with somebody, it could have been years ago, last week, whatever. It's like, to get rid of that, that's why they always preach, go to the gym, go for a run,
Right.
sweat it out, pump some weights, do something relaxing, watch a comedy, laugh, you know, like that keeps you in that state.
Right.
I trigger myself to those kind of things to keep the positivity going. Because if we thought about all the stuff we didn't like, we'd be negative all the time. But then it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop you from manifesting what you want, making what you want happen. So, as they say, hate is a new love. So I use hate as fuel.
Right. I've been thinking about that. Like, some people ask you sometimes, like, how can you think like that in a time like this? I'm like, how can you not? Right. Me personally, my mindset is like, okay, you know what? If I don't do this, this is what's probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if I keep going forward with the negative thought process, or if I don't start to think better, I'm going to get sick.
Yes.
Right? I'm going to do this. And you know, you don't want to think about being sick, but at the same time, I think at some point in time in reality, I think everything's been misconstrued. Because I honestly believe that the law of manifestation, the law of attraction, has literally been manipulated so much. It's kind of like, you know, you tell somebody to stay woke, but you don't really realize what you're saying when you're saying that. Right? Like, you know what? Taxes for cigarettes gone up. Hey, man, stay woke. What?
It's a thing like, you know, I only can talk about my own experience, but how I do my best to stay in that good feeling, tingly moment, you know, like overall, how what I do is and I've done this is progressively increased over the years, is I just keep my circle small.
Right.
And I only mess with the people that I'm supposed to mess with. So, not every single family member, but the immediate family members that I got to deal with every day. I got to make sure they're good. The ones that I'm responsible for on a daily basis. So they're in my close circle. These are the people I'm dealing with every day. And aside from that, like you go to work, you got to deal with these people at work. So you do your best to gravitate. This could be the most negative person, but I do my best to gravitate to the positives that this person has. And I do myself to drown. I do my best to drown out the negative that person has. I ignore it. I'm just like, whatever. I'm only here. I'm on the grind to get this so I could do this to make this. That's how I supersede it.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
So over time, my circle's small. Like I only mess with a few people. And to be very honest, my personality type, I'm in my head a lot. I'm always questioning myself. What's my next move? What should I do this? Anticipating what's next. Okay, this will probably go like this, or this will probably go like this. So let me prepare for this. And also I include Murphy's Law. If you do this, this also might happen. So I'm always doing these little equations and formulas in my head. And just having a small circle because then there's less room. There's less room for people to infiltrate.
See what you just said right there? That's ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you were paying attention. He just showed you that you actually need algebra for real life, right? He literally said, I figure the equations in my head, and he's solving for what's not there. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Figure out
Go to hell. Go to hell if you're thinking that you don't need algebra ever again. You'll never use this. You're wrong.
Everything's important.
You use everything, no matter what it is. You always use it.
All education is important, whether it's education you learn at the rec center, education you learn at school, education you learn with relationships, education you learn, in the classroom, education you learn elementary, post-secondary, high school, workshops. It's all relevant. But you take the gems that are applicable to you,
right? You think the majority of the world's riding on autopilot right now?
I think so, because we're programmed, right? Programming, television, movies, music, media, popular culture, influencers. I think most of the world's on autopilot.
Man, influence. It's funny. You said that, and for some odd reason, the word influence was popping even more. Like, influencers.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let's think about this one. Right. You actually have people who you pay top dollar for to make your decisions for you.
Yeah. The big corporations are employing an A-lister, a popular talent, right? That has a following, right? Cult following, to advertise a product, influence marketing, or I'm into this, so now they're into this.
Right. That's wild.
Wild. You hear that a lot. You always hear people always saying, oh, we're caught up in the matrix. You gotta, you always hear these different things.
Right. That's that. You ever seen the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah, What the Bleep Do We Know? The Rabbit Hole.
Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. And how there's multiple different situations taking place at the same time. Right. And the reason why I asked the autopilot sentence is because you almost feel like a lot of the things that people are focused on is not really their focus, So
it's a narrative.
Okay, you know what? I'm worried about this, and I have to focus on that. But no, that's not true, right? But then you sit back and you say, I need to have this done by here, and I made this decision, but it was bad. But what what if the reason why you made the bad decision because you didn't realize there was a good decision because you're kind of programmed to not see the good position.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's okay. You made a super cool point right there. Like men are usually into things that women like. We
Right.
do stuff to attract women. This is a typical
Right.
scenario, right? Like men do stuff to attract women.
Right.
So there's a pre-programmed cursor, like precursor, like women like guys that look a certain way. Women like guys that have nice cars. Women
Right.
like guys that are independent, have a job, have money. Women like guys that other girls like. You know, like it's just a formula. You know, so men, we fall in this category, like do stuff to attract women.
Right. Which then
Otherwise, you're not saying nothing. But go ahead.
No. And then it's funny because you say that, and the way you broke that down, it actually almost shows how we're. So then we start programming each other. Then, hey man, if he's getting all those girls and he's wearing that blue shirt,
I need to get a blue
too.
shirt.
Yeah, if I don't have that blue shirt, it's not gonna be popping, right? What kind of colognes he wearing? Oh, he's wearing that smell good cologne, that Aventura Gimani. Aventura Gimani. How much is that? $700. Well, I only make $300 a week. I'm gonna save up 3 weeks and get this cologne. This is gonna be nice.
Exactly.
And then you have the dudes who wear the knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it, I think I wore a knockoff shirt once, and I felt so bad wearing the shirt. I'm like, if I can't afford it, man, I'm just not going to get
Well,
it.
I know you remember this when you're growing up in Brooklyn. Like way back in the day, everybody would go to Manhattan, go to Canal Street,
Yes.
34th Street, and they would have all the bootlegs, whether it was jeans, shirts, polos, jackets, because it was like a tenth of the price. So there was an era when you just went to 34th Street and Canal Street and you just like copped everything. Or like I know in Brooklyn, Eastern Parkway had some cool stores. Or you go up to the Bronx, Fordham Ave, they had dope stores. But I guess we evolved, like popular culture evolved. Now we buy it from Gucci, we buy it from Louis, we buy it from Nike. You know what I'm saying? You buy,
I never told you this part, right? See, and we talked about me wearing the black shirts all the time, right? Now, of course, there's a reason behind it. You see the Dr. Dre's and the Steve Jobs, and you see the Steve Bartlett, right?
Yeah.
The guys
and
on
Facebook guy,
Mark Zuckerberg, because
they
say
T-shirts.
that if you wear the same, if you have the same thing in your repertoire, you save money on what you're trying to. Here's my thing though. This is you save money because you save time trying to figure out what you're trying to wear. But the thing that got me, right? You see what you said, Canal Street?
Yeah.
Right. When it came down here, I was that guy. I was one of those guys.
Yeah,
right?
we all were.
Right?
Like if you're in the know and you know
Yeah.
what's really, you know.
You got no, but like the guy, I was the guy who would provide. Like I had a whole customer base because they knew it was fake Louis, and they would buy it because they said they didn't care, right? And I had the whole restaurant jumping one day. There was a place called High Tide Harry's over here, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got the fake ones, cool," and they didn't care.
Yeah,
right. And then I stopped and I thought about it. I'm like, no, they want the fake ones. Right? I never really questioned why.
The look.
It's almost like we are programmed to look this way.
And
it's funny to me because as I'm starting to look forward into it, it's almost like somebody says, you're rich. You're going to be rich. And everyone's going to follow you. But they're going to follow you with what they have. Right? So they're not really going to push towards being better. They're going to be pushed to looking better.
Yeah, so I think that kind of fell off. There was a period of time if you looked rich, it was all good. But now you got to be rich. You got to, and rich is not necessarily material things. It's internal stuff too. It's a thought process too.
It's true. But it's funny. I see it every day.
But don't get me wrong. I want to look swaggy. If I go out in the street, like, don't get me wrong, I'll rock a t-shirt. However, I still want to look swaggy.
Right. And that's the thing though, but it's like that's the part where you look at like the decisions you make, are they your decisions? Right? How much money goes into marketing? How much money goes into placement? How much money goes into influencers? How much money goes into all this stuff?
Quite a bit.
Like you turn around, you watch certain TV shows. You see. Remember the Truman Show with Jim Carrey?
I remember the Truman. I remember the movie. Yes. I remember Truman Show. I don't remember it verbatim, but yes.
And every time he was feeling something, his friend showed up with a beer. He's like, Truman, look, I understand, but we're gonna have this Buzz Cola, right?
Yeah.
And everything's gonna be okay.
They drink the pain away,
right? Right? But they're watching his life.
Yeah.
They're watching his life, and he's thinking that everything is normal because he grew up like that. But it's like you don't really understand exactly what it is you're looking at until you go further into where you start seeing it. And this is the part where I start realizing that whole stay woke thing actually becomes true sometimes.
Well, stay woke, that word started in the Black community.
Of course.
It was a word that, around the African cultured people, Western, Eastern, just Black people,
right?
Stay woke. Like the oppressors are out to manipulate you.
Right.
That's the true meaning of woke. But then it became popularized, and other cultures adapted this term, and then they made the word corporate. It became a corporate word to be politically correct.
Right.
So it's been bastardized. So I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily like the word. I feel like it's it was cool when it was in the Black community, when we used it as dialogue. But then when it became popularized, it also lost the true connotation.
Right. It's like that word. You ever see how they talk about now? It's got this thing on the internet talking about the word. The word "unk" means uncool.
These,
I'm like, man,
I'm trying not to curse people.
Well, if you don't keep your grubby little hands up, I'm like, we've been calling people unk for ages. So now all of a sudden you take it and you put your little,
yeah. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like, to me, unk is not a bad thing. It's kind of like saying, "Gee, that's the bigger dude around here."
But
he's been through it already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I could look to him for guidance.
Right.
That's what I take from unk. But then they bastardize it again,
and they're like, man,
now it's uncool.
It means uncool, man. If you don't get your 6'7" ass out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, okay, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it because look, OG for us, all right, for those who don't know, OG for us is two things. Hey, that's your old girl, right? And then you have the OGs. That's the guys who are older. They look at you. Yeah. Hey, OG, what's going on? Right?
That's original.
Right.
Original G's.
Right.
Yeah.
Unk, 9 times out of 10 is one of those OGs. He's just not as old as everybody else.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why you look at Shannon Sharp. They call Shannon Sharp Unk. Because Unk is older than Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he's like more like an older, like he's almost like your dad's older brother.
Yes. And Unk did it. Like, people respect Shannon Sharp because he's a champion.
He's a champ. Right? Unk knows the business. That's how they said, you know how they always talk about, said, that's your uncle. I'm not responsible for raising you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just responsible to make sure that you get home, that you didn't die.
Yes.
What we do on the way there, that's up to you.
Huh?
That's
And he's
your
not
uncle,
gonna rat. Your uncle's not gonna rat you out.
right? He gonna give you all the life lessons that your dad ain't gonna give you because he's your parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's your uncle.
Mm-hmm.
But that's being aware of what's going on. When people people want to jump into our culture and bring it out for hits and views. You know,
It's weird.
it's crazy,
It's weird.
right? But see, then you look at it and it's like, for us, uncle's a term of endearment,
Yeah.
right? But now here it is again being bastardized, right? Guys, it means uncool.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Black culture, African culture, when you see a family friend that might not be a blood relative, but it's your dad's friend, that's
That's
unc.
your uncle.
Or your
That's your
mom's
uncle.
friend, that's your auntie.
Auntie. That's it.
So it's always been a term of endearment. So now they're coming with the switcheroo. You know, people need to decipher what's real and what's fake.
That's the part. That's the part, right? That's the part where we look at where it's like, all right, I understand what you're saying, you know, but what I grew up was dealing with this. Are you trying to tell me my reality wasn't real, that I've been living all this time?
It came out the other day that everything is going to go back to analog.
Yeah,
Somebody there was a narrative about
Gary
that.
V.
Yeah.
Gary V
You know,
said that.
and like, don't get me wrong, technology is the bomb. Like, now we communicate easier. We have the internet. You know, we could search things. We could buy things. Banking system on your phone. Like, there's so many pros, but there's also a lot of cons. So, at some point, we should still use the technology, but still make being analog cool.
But that's funny you say that, because it's like communication is easier, but we do it a lot less now.
Yeah, I guess it's too
Right.
accessible.
For some reason, it's harder to communicate now than it was when we didn't have this. All right, because for me, like in my experiences, when you went to somebody's house,
Mm-hmm.
you went over there to see what's going on. Boom. Hey man, I'm coming by. We're gonna play some video games. We knew exactly what we were gonna do. We're going over there. And if we ain't gonna play video games, we going outside. We're gonna ride around. We're gonna play football in the street. We're gonna do whatever. Like, we had a whole thing planned out. Boom. That's it. We knew what the business was. Now, right? Hey man, you going somewhere? Hold on a second. What you doing?
Yeah.
I'm texting John, see if you want to go.
Yeah. The buzz
That's
comes
somebody
in.
else.
Yeah. And we're selective of who we
Yeah.
actually communicate with.
Yeah. Right. So that to me is where the issues come in now. It's like, if we swing it back to an analog era, that means it's now, let's get back outside. Right. I think in all actuality, when Pokemon, I don't know if you ever see when Pokemon Go first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. To me, that was the closest we got to
Back
everything.
to analog.
Yeah, because we were outside and everyone was out there trying to find Pokemon.
I remember
Right.
that, but people were walking off cliffs.
Yeah, because they was stupid. I'm sorry for those who walked off of cliffs.
Yeah, they were like just following their phone and they're like walking off cliffs.
No
remember
feelings
that.
were meant to be hurt in making this video. I'm like,
It turned into the lemming game.
yo, you walked off the cliff, but you know what? That just showed you. It showed you where society was at that time,
Huh.
right? Okay, you know what? How locked in on our phone to where you walking in, you looking for a Pokemon, you driving around in the middle of the hood somewhere, right? Then you jumping out in your car. I'm like, hey man, would you have jumped out your car at this time of night in this neighborhood if there was no Pokemon?
Probably not.
You know, not to say that all neighborhoods aren't equal. They are.
In a special way.
In a special way. They all have that beautiful, rich upbringing, built culture. Okay.
But you know what? I wonder, okay, what, this is 2026? They say 2030 is going to be another big marker in history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how the next 4 years plays out in terms of how does technology adapt to all these things that are going on,
We'll
and
find out 'cause the next 4
and
years
how
is
many
pivotal.
people just withdraw from it and go straight analog and start living in their own little world.
You know what I think? I think we're gonna do like what COVID did. You know how when COVID came, everybody had to wear masks, right? You had that bubble up, right? And then once COVID was it dissipated. Can't say it's gone because it still pops up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Allegedly, right? you know, you know. Um, some people still wore masks, some people didn't.
Mm-hmm. And
Right?
now,
It
if you
became
wear a mask, you're not bastardized.
right.
So,
It became socially acceptable,
mm-hmm,
right, to be distant.
mm-hmm.
Right. You now have that choice. You don't have to be out here in the space. Like I remember seeing people, they used to get mad at somebody else wearing a mask. You don't have to wear that anymore. I know. But you're doing it
Oh
for the
man,
government. You're like, look, I'm doing it for me. Relax. Easy.
Exactly. It's
Easy.
wild now.
Easy.
Well, there's many narratives behind all of that, but
Of
a
course.
lot of people seem to think it was a marketing scheme for the pharmaceutical companies.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see
the
that.
stock went up, the product was in high demand, and
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, we all went after vaccines that were never even tested.
Yeah, I know. And you had to have it or you
Right.
couldn't get
You couldn't get
access
anywhere.
to anywhere. You couldn't get on a plane, you couldn't cross the
But
border, travel,
right. But
nothing.
you know what? That's why we certain things we stay away from because it forces us not to.
And that's what's up. That's what's up, man. You got to power yourself up.
But let
Whether
me
it's
ask
mentally, physically,
you, you got to keep it going.
spiritually,
You got to
power
keep it
yourself up,
going.
man.
Crazy question though. Do you think there was a parallel universe where none of this happened? Because remember, we watched the What the Bleep Do We Know? I kind of wonder,
Hmm.
at what point in time, like what would it have been like if none of this ever happened? Would we still be moving forward? Would Bitcoin have hit $300,000 by now?
It's kind of hard to say because we're talking about hypothetical. Like right
Right,
now, this is our reality. This is our
right,
present. So we have to go with this. So, but there's nothing stopping saying there's an alternate universe. There's an alternate reality. It's just right
right.
now we're experiencing this. But I think Steven Spielberg said, if you have the creative thought, it's possible.
It- it's I look at it because me personally, my mind has always been in a place of, you know what, the future doesn't exist,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you kind of look at it and you realize there could be multiple. Like I've always said, reality is a place where everything is happening at the same time, right? What your mindset is when you get there is what decides what's going to happen next.
It's kind of like this is a weird one. I don't even know if they make these books anymore, but I remember as a kid going to the library, signing up books from the library, and some of my favorite books that I would take out were called Choose Your Own Adventure.
Hmm.
And they had like alternate endings.
Right.
So even based on that concept of a choose your own reality book, the outcome could be several different things.
Right.
There could be two or three different endings, right? So, in theory, there is alternate parallels.
Yeah. Because if you're choosing your own adventure, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. It's crazy you say that. So now we look at the situation, right? You see that a lot of decisions are made for you a lot of times growing up. Some people are
Hmm.
just programmed to be a certain kind of way. My crazy question is this. Do you think simulation theory is real?
Simulation theory.
You ever heard about it?
I don't know the details on it. Break it down.
All right, so the whole thing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be. Hold on, you know what? We're going to look it up.
Good old Google.
That's it. Let's pop up. What is? We should use Claude.
Simulation theory.
Boom. A simulation theory is a simulation hypothesis, right? Is the philosophical and scientific concept suggesting that our reality, including the entire universe and humanity, is an advanced artificial computer-generated simulation created by a more intelligent, likely future civilization.
Wow, that's deep.
You want to know
It's
something?
hard. It's hard to say. Yeah, man. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. I read that. I see that. I feel like that, remember Super Hot Fire?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, baskets, I make that. Yo, girl, I take that. It's like, I see that. I believe that. Because if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For instance, they say a majority of your decisions are made before you actually hit the supermarket.
Yeah.
When you go in there, you're not
Subconscious.
shopping. Yeah, you're not shopping for yourself. You're shopping for what brands look good to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you walk inside the supermarket, go ahead.
And the coloring, the
The
packaging,
color, everything.
where the
Everything.
product is placed in the aisle, on the end
Right.
cap in the aisle, when you walk into the store, the sales, the numbers.
That's it. They said that if you walk into a supermarket, they said the safest way to actually avoid programming or deprogram yourself is walking on the outside of the aisles.
Yeah, or
Like, if
making
you
a
walk-
list before you go
Right.
and sticking to it.
Right. But you know what? Even in that list is going to have the things on the inside of the supermarket because you're programmed to believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've watched Saturday morning cartoons quite some time, but guess what we saw in there? Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Rice Krispies, right? Cocoa Pebbles, Coke. They were marketing the hell out of us.
Frosted Flakes, yeah.
Frosted Flakes, and then what's going to happen, right? Couple weeks later, that new Voltron toy is going to come out. Oh, I got to get that, right? You're marketing to the end.
honeycomb. Phew,
Right.
Cereal was
Right.
huge.
But you think about how that programming was by the time you got there, right? Fast forward years, man. For my family, they all vote this way. I go to church on a regular basis over here. What religion are you? I'm this over here. Isn't that Christian? Yes, but it's not really. It's a different type of Christian, right?
Yeah.
But well, what do you believe? I believe in this, but he believes in the same thing, just a different name. Yeah, but his is not right. Mine is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then another war breaks out.
Another war breaks out, but then somebody's making money. But who's pulling the strings?
The corporations?
I think they're beneficiaries of the strings being pulled. Because if you're a big business, for me, it's like, they say, how they say, the media is run by 5 major corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And who runs those corporations?
Yeah, and who influences those corporations?
Right. That's the thing. Right. So if that's the case, right, a lot of people are when they think of simulation theory, right? Yeah. Watch one of those videos. This guy went missing right after the statement.
We don't go in too deep. We only
Right.
just dibble
Don't
and
worry.
dabble.
Don't worry. All our jobs is to say what we're thinking, and we'll leave it alone. Don't worry. You can have whatever you want. Right. You know. But if you think about it, right, half the time when you walk around, you see people walking around, they're NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, non-playable characters. Everybody's on autopilot. Which goes back to that first question I was saying before. Everybody's on autopilot. Half the time when some people get home, they don't even realize they got home. They don't even know how they got there. Right?
Yeah, yes, I hear that a lot. Like
Yeah.
people driving to work, they're like,
Yep.
"Oh, I just got up and I got in the car, then all of a sudden I was here, but I don't
I was
remember
there.
what happened,
Yeah.
how it happened." Yeah,
Right.
I hear that all the time.
You are programmed. So if you think about it, right? You ever played The Sims?
A little bit, not too heavy, not too
You
heavy.
pro-
Like me, I'm a creative like yourself, LeVar. So at
right.
an early age, I kind of just blocked everything out, and a lot of, even though I know popular culture and popular media, most of my time was spent trying to create or
Yeah.
writing something.
I played it
Most.
with I played it with my daughter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you look at it, all right, The Sims is a game that has its own language, it has
Mm-hmm.
its own ecosystem, it has its own style, right? To the point where people were playing The Sims, right? They even set up dating,
Wow.
right? And I think you could play as a character and you could actually go over there in like online world and just interact with
Wow.
things,
And
right?
so that has evolved because now they have roadblocks,
Yeah,
and they
Roblox.
have and what's the other one? It's kind of
Let's
like
see,
Roblox,
Roblox and Minecraft,
Minecraft. Yeah.
right? The thing about The Sims is that everything created its own personality,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're there working with it, and you say, okay, this is John. John, he's gonna wear a white shirt. He's gonna wear blue pants, and John doesn't really have a job yet, but he's gonna work. He's gonna do things around the house, right? And this is his wife, Teresa, right? Teresa does this, and she's gonna go drive the car around the block real quick, and she's gonna come back,
Full
right?
simulation. Yeah.
Full simulation, right? But you program them to do this. And if John doesn't talk to Teresa, you got to go over there and tell John to talk to Teresa,
Wow.
right? So when you turn around and you see people who are couples and they're like, well, I don't understand why he's not doing this. Oh, well, guess what you have to do? You have to go talk to your husband and you have to make sure that he's okay.
That's crazy. So it was a
Oh,
whole other life.
there's a whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look at it and you compare it to this life, every day we're being programmed by the media.
Mm-hmm.
We're being told, oh, you know what, we're being influenced by influencers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And entertainers and
And
sports
entertainers,
players. Yeah.
right? So technically, I remember the question when they said, you know, they always compare and say, if we have free will, then how do we have to do this? I'm like, I think the problem that we have with a lot about we have free will. We don't have free will while we have something else. We have this or we have free will, right?
Wow.
Because if you have free will, I don't need to tell you nothing. You're going to do what you're going to. Those are
Yeah,
the
you could just
outliers.
go do what you want. Yeah.
Right. Those are the outliers. Those are the ones you look at, they look like the rebels. Those are the ones
Mm-hmm.
that have the free will,
Mm-hmm.
right? The ones that are saying, well, you know what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go and take my family. We're going to go over here and we're going to have a nice house over here. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to have dinner together. I feel like those are the ones that are part of the simulation.
They are,
Right.
because they're programmed. There was,
Right.
oh man, the show, I can't think of the name, but yeah, the programming is heavy.
Yeah. Right. And you realize that now the more you go, like even right now, I'm playing Duolingo. I'm not playing Duolingo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Duolingo has some pretty good stuff to learn about, you know, other languages, learning music, But then after a while, you look at it and it's like, am I doing this to learn or am I doing this to keep my streak going?
It's true, because you got to get the points.
Right. So I'm looking at it, right? Because right now, my streak, I got 768 days.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I started this 768 days ago. I just don't remember all 768 days.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
It's
craziest thing in the
wild.
universe. No,
It's wild. And speaking of that, you know what? We are living in a simulation. And if you think about it, the Oculus glasses, the Ray-Ban glasses, the
Mhm.
new digital ones, so they just came out, right?
Yeah.
Like last 2-3 years. But as time evolves, they'll get better and
course.
a better reality, just like video games. Like if you compare Atari to PlayStation or Xbox, it's like worlds apart. So
Yeah.
like when you look at the Oculus glasses now or the new Ray-Bans now, imagine 10 years from now or 20
Right.
years from now, you wouldn't even have to do nothing. Just put on your
No.
sunglasses and everything's in there.
Right. And you think about it, like, now you don't really have to meet people because if
Mhm.
it's picking up on who they are, it's going to tell you who they are when you meet them.
Exactly. And suggest
Right.
people to you and
Yeah, you
this and that and
could you
wow.
could you imagine it as you're walking down the street, you're wearing glasses and be like, this person matches you with you on Zoosk.
Yeah.
How do you
At-
know?
They're already doing that right now.
Yeah.
Based on your likes, based on your interests, based on what you like to eat, what you ordered off of Uber
Right.
Eats, what you ordered off of DoorDash. Oh, this you could go on a date and you guys have a restaurant in common that you'd like.
And it's telling you, it's like, based upon your date, you guys should eat at Antonio's.
Yeah, because you guys both have eaten there in the 5 times in the last 6 weeks, so
Right.
they
And
like
it was
this
none,
on the menu.
it was none of your dates, your
Oh,
previous date's favorite
man.
restaurant. That's different, man.
I'm actually anticipating going back to analog. It's too much information.
I tell people, they'd be like, "Aren't you worried?" I'm kind of excited to see what happens. I'm just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like I think that's the point now of understanding where you are,
Mm-hmm.
because now you're watching. You're no longer a participant. You're just watching the movie,
Yes,
right?
you're in it, and
Right.
you're in
And
it
you're
deep.
right. And you look at you like it's like you're like, okay, well, this is happening over here. Cool. Well, I'm stressed out for what? You have no control over it. Just let it ride.
And they say, I guess we're in the swiping age, right? A lot of swipe like this and a swipe like this. So I guess it's a dopamine hit when you swipe right, swipe left,
Yeah,
swipe
no,
up,
man.
swipe down. So yeah,
We're at a point now, right, that your attention they're fighting for your attention.
mm-hmm.
Your
And
attention is
they
gold,
got
man.
it. They got
Of
it,
course.
man.
Your attention
got
is
it.
gold, man. And it's to the point where they've gotten it to where you won't even have anything longer than 30 seconds. Eh,
That's it. It's too long. It's too
eh,
long.
right? Look at remember Vine? Vine was like 30-second comedy shorts,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And Snapchat. Yeah.
You watched a person on Vine like you were watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because it's so
one.
quick.
I like this one. I like
Yeah.
this one. You know,
It's so quick.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
roop, roop, roop.
right? But then that's the one thing Instagram showed me, right? Everybody wants to be noticed for something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Regardless of how quiet you are, you want to be noticed for something. Like I
Mhm.
could never understood why people would make an Instagram profile and go private,
Yeah, to each their own. You know,
right?
people
'Cause
just
it's
want to have their groups amongst their
right.
friends or whatever. Some people want to be public, you know.
At some point in time where you look at it as like you're on a platform that's for social media. Like I could
Exactly.
never. I remember somebody who on social media posted about how something was difficult for them, right? And then when everybody responded, this person responded back. People need to mind their own business.
Wow. After they posed the question.
You posted that.
Mm-hmm.
You put your life out there for everybody, and when somebody responded back with help, you were like, they need to mind their own business.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people don't have that discernment to be
No.
selective of what they actually post or what
No.
they actually expose. You know,
Right.
so it's, I guess, it's trial and error process.
I think a lot of it, man, the main goal at the end of the day, one, if there's a battle out there, you don't even worry about fighting it because it's already fought. It's already being fought, right? Your main thing is self-awareness, understand who you are. Because I kid you not, the more ego you have, the easier it is to control you.
100%.
Because you know what?
You know,
They think that they're attacking everything. No, they're attacking bravado.
Exactly. It's easy to control that.
It's easy to control that. Look. He's got a blue shirt. He's got all the girls. Don't you want all the girls?
Exactly. Yeah, I want all the girls.
I want girls. I want girls. There's the girls. I like those girls. They're nice.
But you have a girl already. No, I want more.
I want more. He has blue shirt. I don't have blue shirt. I can have blue shirt.
Yeah. And it goes back to that classic phrase, control the things that you can.
Control.
Yeah. And the things that you can't control, let it be.
Let it be. That's it. I think that's a good way to end it off tonight.
That's what's up. Till next
time for the
time.
fire. Ow! Yes. Bars.
And where you coming from? Hit them up.
All right. You know what? That one, we're going to end on that note. Thank you for joining us.
We love
you. If you
y'all.
made it this far, we truly appreciate you. Stay a little bit longer. Like and subscribe. We'll be back next week.
Repost, like, subscribe.
Yes. All those. Appreciate you.
Barsky and Mars.